This is another New Black World Order TV Productions. Chopper. We got Imam Ramadan back in the building. Salam Ramadan, how are you?
Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullah. Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Kareem.
All right. So what we talking about today is the late and the great Malcolm X. Brother El Hajj Malik El Shabazz. There's a lot of talk going on now about Malcolm, and it's being done by those who don't know the history of Malcolm. It's being done by those who don't understand the contributions that Malcolm made to building institutions in America. Now, whether we kept those institutions or not, he must be given the credit for building them. So, brother, what would you have to say to the newcomers, the millennials, right, who don't know this history and that are saying nasty things about Malcolm X, such as he sent people to prison, following behind his misguided rhetoric of black power, about those who say that Malcolm didn't build any institutions? Can you speak to that, brother Imam, from your wealth of experience and your knowledge of Malcolm X and what was going on in those times, because you lived in those times? Speak to us, Imam.
Well, first of all praises due to Allah, whom Malcolm recognized, the real Allah, and not do everything as according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad served his purpose in bringing us his message, and under his tutelage, Malcolm was the foot soldier. Malcolm carried the message and lived the message as an example of the truthfulness of the message and the genuineness of the message. All who doubted any political or religious setback with Brother Malcolm don't really know Brother Malcolm. I relate to yourself, you know, we talked earlier about my personal affiliation with Malcolm. I had a brother, and if I could show the picture, which I can't right now, to show that my brother, who happened to be in my blood family, we had the same mother, was literally a replica of Brother Malcolm. He was tall, he wore glasses, he had reddish hair. He was light-skinned, he had green eyes, you know. And that's not no pat on the back, that's my family member. That's just a historical fact. And the characteristics of my brother, he was one of the backbones after my mother and father. He was one of the backbones of our family. Him and my next older brother that was older than him. And especially his characteristics were the same characteristics as Malcolm's. As far as people going to prison, people go to prison for a whole
What's up, Kia?
For a whole lot of reasons, legitimate and illegitimate. People go to prison for a whole lot of different reasons. Matter of fact, there's a stigma that Muslims, not only because of Malcolm, or certainly not because of Malcolm, there's a stigma going around that people become Muslims after they went to the penitentiary, not because of Malcolm, but because of that fact that they don't understand that this system, as they call it, from the school to the prison, that's been in operation for the longest time as there are and were institutions in this country, period. Not because of Malcolm, but because of the people of Malcolm who was used inappropriately in that system and what we call the slave system. We're going through what is called now the modern slave system, which is one and the same. Malcolm addressed it in his time, then Mark Vesey addressed it in his time, Gabriel Prosser addressed it in his time, Nat Turner addressed it in his time, John Brown, the white European with 10 sons that fought to stop slavery in his time, Marcus Garvey in his time, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he was more or less later. It goes all the way back to Prophet Muhammad. The gangs and whatnot faced Prophet Muhammad. The tribe praised Prophet Muhammad. They faced Jesus, said nothing good comes out of Nazareth, but criminals and fools. That's the same way they look at us. Right. So if you want to follow that misinterpreted concept, that's on you. But having lived as a Muslim and still as a Muslim, fasting during the month of Ramadan, that the month that the Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad, you don't change from that if you are for real. Malcolm was for real for the knowledge that he had and the knowledge that he came to acquire after visiting Saudi Arabia, performing the Hajj. He saw Islam up close. Okay. He already identified with it. It was his chicken coming home to roost. That was his home. And he told it, this system leaders, the garbage that they push out in the incident of one of their chief leaders getting what was due to them for promoting violence, that was their case of their chickens coming home to roost. That statement remains true under the so-called leader that we have now, that associates himself with Muslims as if he offering peace, and he's selling $100 billion worth of weapons. It ain't no peace mission he's on. It's a terrorist mission.
Trump and them sold $300 billion. $100 billion worth of arms.
Weapons to the Saudi government.
What's up, homie? Okay.
You know.
So let's speak to the institutions that Malcolm built, such as the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, the mighty FOI. Did Malcolm contribute and build institutions within the Nation of Islam and without the Nation of Islam? Because somebody is saying that Malcolm did not build or contribute to any institutions in our community.
Brother Malcolm established the institutions while he was with the Nation of Islam and while he separated from the institution of Islam. The Organization of African American Community, that was the same institution as he promoted while he was with the Nation of Islam. He established the foundation. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, knowing his being a foot soldier, knowing him being out front and the exemplar of what he was promoting, named him the national spokesman. That's what caused the jealousy against the lackadaisical Muslims that say they were following the Honorable
Elijah Muhammad. The lazy ones. The ones that don't want to really do no what? Work.
The fakers.
They want to ride on the work of the workers.
Right.
But they don't want to do no work.
You know, Malcolm was never like that. In the street as a so-called convict, All of us are convicts. We convicted of slave manipulation.
Will make you a
We
convict.
the victims of slave manipulation.
Right.
You know, but he wasn't no faker even in that world.
Right.
And jealousy came about then.
Between him and the number man.
Control
Right,
him.
the people that brought the conflict between him and the number man.
A person with the knowledge of God, no matter how, if it's this faith of a mustard seed, you can't change that. If they really have that faith, even if it's the size
Of a mustard seed.
of a mustard
It's
seed,
stronger than a lump of bullshit.
it's stronger than a mountain.
Of bullshit. Right? You can have a mountain of bullshit. It won't mount up to a mustard seed of good, genuine
Muhammad,
character.
he went to the mountain, but there's a certain saying, Muhammad don't have to go to the mountain now that he received the guidance. The mountain will come to Muhammad.
Right.
Meaning the false governments, the false individuals, the false group that try to malign what was established with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that will never be changed and will be reestablished. It ain't going nowhere. So get used to it. And all the players that was responsible, including, most importantly, including Malcom and the Honorable Imam Tariq Muhammad, who brought us to that apex of joining watered down Islam with our Islam. You know, those are the players, and the followers are still here and ain't going nowhere, because we have a big challenge. The world is made aware of us being the target of the unbelievers, whatever form they come in. And you can go to Saudi Arabia acting like you helping Muslims, or like you all of a sudden change, and you don't want Muslims to stop coming from over here, but you want to sell weapons for Muslims to kill other Muslims, to the place where the very precincts of Al-Islam exist. You know, he went to the ones that Allah has declared, you are not its guardians. You over there manipulating your own people.
The house of the Saudi.
And that's not Saudi Arabia, that's Arabia. Not because of the Saud family, that's Arabia.
Right.
What was it called before Saud?
Right.
It was Arabia, and it's still Arabia. Arabia. You know, what is the language that was revealed in the Quran? Arabia. Not that we are Arabs, but Allah chose that one as the final example of how we are to conduct ourselves. And it's called Al-Islam, which literally means the peace. The peace that people are looking for is Al-Islam. Al is the definite article. The Islam, the root word is peace. So that's what you're looking for. Europeans, Africans, Americans, Asians, if you're looking for peace, it's Al-Islam. Its name speaks for it.
Okay. Brother Imam, we would like to take this time to invite you out July the 16th
Inshallah.
at Avenue Clay Park to Black Unity Day.
Inshallah.
We hope that you could come out and represent the Islamic family within the African American community, and we're humbled to have.
Make no mistake, not to cut you off, brother. Make no mistake. It's not separate from Africa. Africa is a whole lot of terms and whatnot. You know, we're not Arab. Muslims are not Arabic. Muslim simply means
most Muslims are not even Arab.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
You know.
And most Arabs are not.
The largest conglomeration of Muslims
Indonesia.
is where the first brother who became president, who was a Muslim that denied himself even being born Muslim, come from Indonesia, where he went to school, and where his mother married. His father was a Muslim that his European mother married, and after he passed, she married another Muslim. She knew exactly what she was doing. But Barack Obama, claiming to be a Christian, his Christian pastor, Brother Jeremiah Wright,
to whom we love.
They told Barack, if you want this to join our club, you can't bring no religion up here.
You can't bring Reverend Wright with you.
You can't bring Christianity.
Muhammad.
You can't bring the real Judaism.
You can't bring
Zionism.
Farrakhan, nobody.
You can't bring none of that garbage up in here. No, well, not garbage. You can't bring no truth up in here.
In order to take out the garbage.
You can side with us and make the people believe that you're the answer to racism and all of that, and that you're against war. But if you're in fact that, you don't send thousands more people in Iraq, where you're still in Iraq, you're still in Afghanistan, you're still in Syria, you're still in Yemen, you're still all over the world promoting terrorism. Not the victims. They are not the terrorists. They are the victims of your terrorism. And all who's involved with that. And I think a child knows that the scriptures say a child will be able to teach them in the latter days. And a child will tell you who the Antichrist is, who the chief faker is, who the man of perdition is. To make no mistake and be not deluded that everything civil, moral, religious, right, good will fall away at a certain point, and it has fallen away. Then the one responsible for that, the man of sin, the man of perdition, will expose himself. I did that. And I can go over in Arabia and sell them weapons. Because we ain't finished yet, according to him.
According to Donald Trump.
Terrorism.
Right. The orange Jupa Lupa.
You know, that forwarded the misinterpreted concept about the World Trade Center, which I have a book that I have written about, where it was self-implosion. Ain't nobody come from nowhere and do that in New York. This system self-destruct.
Even Trump.
And they're continuing.
Even Trump said this, but then turn around and go right back.
Right. Because he's a liar and the father of it. Like Jesus told those fake ones coming around here.
How many lies can Donald Trump tell him today?
You know, that's a good question. You know, but I ain't going to wait around to count them because I already know. You know, it's insurmountable until it be stopped.
Right.
And the prophecies also describe when the overflowing scourge of truth comes, like a tsunami, it will sweep away the lies. But the stiff-necked ones think they can still get by with their lives. When the overflowing scourge comes, they say, it won't affect us because we'll still hide behind our lives.
Right.
But they don't know. The lies will be swept away, and they are being swept away.
I'll be back.
No, I got it. This has been another New Black World Order TV Productions. Chopper.